am back. I think we are going to be able to finish this out today. That meeting took a little longer than I thought, but I'm back, and I plan on trudging through this and giving my review. But it's been a treat, right? I really like this game. I think it deserves some recognition for sure. Okay, so what we decided to do is we decided not to help any of the three factions, and Ezra came up with a plan to save all of them, but you have to get to the sphere first, the terraforming sphere first, and you have to fight through everyone to get to it. I think it's going to be tough, but I think it's the right decision. So, it sounds like our best shot. Let's do it. Alright, go out and see if you can find anything we need. When you've got it all, come back here and talk to me. Okay, now, correcting the situation. For Ezra's plan to work, you need to restore all your memories. To do this, use the progenitor and minor memory recovery. Once you have recovered them all, speak to Ezra again. Now, I think what I need to do now is I think I need to beef up my stats, and I also need to do this to get enough money to get all the quartz crystals at all the shops. First, I'll recover a minor memory. So you got a robot, Leon Palmer, staring at the third partner on the table. Yes, its name is Ariel. Figured it was a good way to go about the CS project. What a better way to understand an artificial intelligence than examining one. Pleasure to meet you, Leon. I promise not to usurp your position as best friend right away. Ariel swiftly reaches out a hand. Leon pauses, then laughs, shaking it. Oh, that's gold. Pleased to meet you, Ariel. Where did you get them? Professor Strandberg's lab. I put some code. I'm going to turn Do Not Disturb on. I'm going to see how Ariel grows and study them. Well, congratulations on becoming a parent, Alexis grins. You throw a spoon at him. So you've just been patching code into Ariel for the last few years, the tech asks, literally examining Ariel's brain. You lean back in your chair and nod. Pretty much. Though I always ask permission first. I don't know what to say. Who did you say wrote the initial self-actuating code? Someone called Ash. Oh yes, I know them. A real up-and-comer. Well, I gotta say this is really something else. In a lab, self-actuating AIs that aren't based on Aldrich's theories require a lot of hand-holding. You've seen the difficulty we've had with Gabriel. Yeah, I've heard you hit some roadblocks like that. At your word, technician nods. You open your eyes and rub them. The door of the tank opens. You really get along with machines, Flegaria. I'm impressed. I always have. I guess that's just the way I've been. As a fellow machine, I'm glad not everyone gets along with machines. It's sad Ariel passed away. Yeah, so am I. The more I get back, the more I feel that I've lost. Error. Child tag. No BR was found outside of a call to its parent macro, NOBR. That's weird. I suggest we make a backup of your data anyway, just in case. If you continue into the northern wilds, you will set in motion a course of action that won't finish until the end of the game. Make sure you've saved your game. I'm not ready yet. Yeah, so we are near the end of the game, that's for sure. I'm I definitely need to, I need to beef up my stats a little bit, I think. Trained diplomat. I don't think gaining the stats is going to take that long. Home stretch. Yep, that's right. Was a quartz crystal at the Shirari Grove that I didn't buy, so I'm guessing they're gonna let me go past it. Yeah, all the basic enhancements. I think I've got everything we need for the plan. What do you think I should do next? Okay. Looks good. We are prepared as we can be, and we've got 3 full biosignature sets. Once you secure the terraform sphere and the other progenitor, we'll be good to go. I got a question about that. The coordinates we got from Shay are outside of your transmission range. Make contact with you, how can you sync with the other progenitor and modify the sphere? Shunk. You turn to the wall where a chip is sticking out. You pull it out and turn it over in your hand. Install that chip into the sphere's console. If the other Ezra is intact, we should be able to make contact. Given Leon's attacks on the colonies, her transmission range must be less damaged than mine. Wait, your transmission range is damaged? This is the first I've heard of it. Well, I was designed to be able to protect you even if you went planet side. And I was in orbit. You didn't really think my limit was a few dozen miles, did you? You cough and slip the chip in your pocket. So let's recap. I get to the sphere and put the chip in the console. You do the calculations needed to modify the terraform device. Then it goes explosive, but with your new transmission range, I appear back here, safe and sound. Partial terraforming of the planet takes place. You continue. The colonist machines in Ziri all have somewhere to live. Sounds about right? Well, you skipped the part about how you've got to get past the entire horde of irate colonist Ziri machines to get the sphere. Yeah, and with no support, not sure how I'm going to do that. Any ideas? Of course I do. Give me a moment. The progenitor bubbles. Fluid passes from it to the wall. After a few moments, a spherical object pops from the wall. You pop over and grab it. What exactly is this? Putting my biology nerdiness to good use, it's a highly effective stun agent designed to incapacitate a large number of organics. That's human or Ziri. Won't work on the machines, or you, of course, but it should make things much easier. That's amazing. Why didn't we make these earlier? It uses a lot of biofuel. Apart from that, though, I don't have any brilliant plans. You'll have to figure out something when you get there. Right, thanks, Ezra. I guess I better be heading off. Good luck, Trigaea. Despite the odds, I know you can do this. Okay, so if it works on the Ziri, because here's the thing, if these bombs or whatever work on the Ziri and they work on humans, but they don't work on the robots, on the machines, then I should probably appear as a machine. Although all of the equipment related to the other progenitor is probably in the territory of the Ziri. So there's an argument to be made that maybe I should go as a Ziri, but I think that since it'll work on everybody but the machines, I should go as a machine. So because once you get rid of the other two, you're going to be left with only the machines opposing you, and if you appear to be a machine, they might let you walk past them. So I think I'm going to go as a machine. Oh, uh-oh. Looks like it's just happening. You stop to catch your breath. Up ahead there is flashing of gunfire. So I guess I'm Ziri. I was gonna change my appearance, but I didn't know it would just go forward like that, but that's all good. Ziri, machine, human, your stomach sinks. Jeez, I can't believe I'm doing this alone. You unsling your gun blade, not even Ezra to talk to. You hold your weapon out in front and start running. Up ahead you can hear shouting and screams. Not long after, stray blasts shoot above your head. You duck and continue to move forward. You stumble into a vast clearing to fire you a disorganized horde of Zulu warriors. Yeah, I use this track in my game. By crashing into this steadfast squad of machines, like sea breaking over a rocky crag. From the thickets, human colonists are shooting pop shots into the fray. A true free-for-all. You scowl at all the bodies, reaching for the bio-grenade. You toss it into the chaos. It sails in a neat arc into the storm. It rolls around to the ground hissing. Seconds later, the Zirian humans begin falling forward. Thud, thud, thud. Machines stand upright, but in stupefied silence. Taking advantage of the confusion, you dash out and begin firing on them as fast as they can. Several go down in your first barrage before they swing around and start firing back. The pedal machines fall to the ground, smoking. You breathe a sigh of relief and lower your gun. Just then, a gigantic six-legged tank bursts out of the undergrowth. Caught off guard, you jump backwards, your foot colliding with something. As you fall backwards, the machine bears down on you. Oh shit. Someone is running beside the tank. They throw their arm. They throw up their arm. A roaring explosion. You bring your arms up, shielding your face. Shards of metal rain down on and all around you. As you peer past your arms, the end of the barrel is pointed at you. You tumble sideways. A flash explodes where you once were. You scramble up on all the fours, and with no time to get upright, barrel into your attacker. Hurr, they yell, staggering back. You spot the butt of their gun coming down and leap back. As you stare at your attacker in the face, she scowls. I won't let you destroy us. The human race won't end here, Shay hisses. Shay is standing in front of you, holding her energy rifle. She looks completely uninjured. Oh, so she's your friend, but she's gonna attack you. She's beating up in there. Subdue her. Don't want to kill her. As Shay fires at you, you tumble forward and strike her solar plexus. She buckles and falls forward, gun slipping from her grasp. Instinctively, you check her wounds. There are plenty of score marks and cuts that you didn't make. Still, none of them seem lethal. I'm sorry, Shay, but I'm trying to create a place for everyone to survive. You grab her communicator and put it in her hand. Pull your troops back. There's been enough bloodshed today. Wait, Trigaea, you're going to activate the sphere? She croaks. Yes, it's mostly true. If you withdraw now, your people won't starve anymore. But that's only if there's enough of them left. You look into her eyes, a long pause follows, and she gives a slight nod. Go, we've lost anyway. I'll sound the withdrawal. I'm coming. I'm counting on you, Trigaea. You start sprinting to the north. It's not long before you come across more bodies. You leap over or weave between them. Meanwhile, colonists are fleeing the other way. Thanks, Shay. In the distance, there's a gray outline of a ship, or at least a large chunk of it. As you clear the foliage, there's a large sealed door and a dozen machines standing in front of it. One of them has their hands on a panel. The machines don't seem to have noticed you. You have a chance to ambush them, but perhaps you could talk them down. Talk to them. You holster your weapon. You walk up to them. As they turn and raise their weapons, you raise your hands. I'm Corrector Trigaea. I'm here to talk. I expected to see you here sooner. A baritone voice speaks out from behind the throne. Three sources emerge a moment later. A bipedal machine with shining, unsullied chassis. The gun it's holding is almost half the size of its body. Wait, Gabriel? Is that you? You're looking different. I'm remoting into an empty frame, just like you. I've decided to use a disposable body. May I ask whose side you are on in this conflict? Everyone's. I'm trying to make sure we can all live, no matter what species we come from. You made it here without killing anyone? You pause. I did destroy some machines, but I couldn't hold back. I really do want to save the most lives possible. You gesture to the structure behind you. I'm going to modify the terraform sphere to partially terraform the planet. I need you to withdraw. I can't. I answer to the collective, even if I created them. The consensus is clear. Organic life is violent and attacks first out of fear. That's why we're going to make sure it never happens again. You've proven that on your way here already. Do you realize that what you're doing is the same? You raise your hands. Look at me, Gabriel. I'm trying to negotiate now, at least, not fight. You of all people can see the logic of that. They pause. Your argument is sound, but the decision isn't mine. Even if the colony takes orders from me, I take orders from the collective. There are fail-safes in place for that, and it would be better for you if they weren't put in place. So if you refuse to fight, they'll take control. Correct. By the way, a human shot Leon a few hours ago. If you defeat me quickly, you'll be able to catch him just as he reforms inside. We've almost broken through the door after all. You nod and raise your gunblade. All right, Gabriel, I'm going to subdue you by force. Order everyone else to retreat. You heard the corrector. Gabriel raises his weapon. The rest of the machines move to the thickest. Just so you know, I can't hold back either. I wasn't expecting you to. Oh, I need to use that grenade that takes away their armor. Acid grenade. Their plating is weakened. Subdue. You tumble past Gabriel and shoot out the back of their knee joints. After they topple backwards, you destroy their gun with a few short blasts. Sorry about that. There's not many ways to disable you without destroying the frame. I appreciate it. Thank you, Trigaea, for showing me humanity aren't as lost as I thought they were. You should stop Leon before it's too late. You nod and walk up to the wall behind them, which has almost been breached. A few more blasts from your gunblade should and the work is finished. After giving Gabriel one last glance, you climb through. No obstacles, just a trail of scarlet blood, like a trail of crumbs. You follow it, weapon raised. Toward the end, you don't need to follow the trail. Each turn is familiar, leading to your final destination. Leon, I'm going to stop you. You walk into the room with the spear as you soak in the sight and energy blast. Scores right past your ear. You dive behind a nearby console, albeit a little late. Peering past the edge, you turn your eyes to the origin of the blast. At its source, you can see a glass tube draining fluid, a progenitor. Next to it, Leon is standing with both gun blades raised. Seems I missed the shot. Leon, we don't have to fight. Trigaea? A pause. Well, I respectfully disagree. You're trying to destroy this planet, or at the very least enslave it. A sound of footsteps. Who are you with? The colonists? Gabriel? Neither. I'm fighting for everyone. My Ezra thinks there's a way to perform a partial terraform. Everyone gets a place on this planet, so we don't need to fight. Silence. Is he thinking or sneaking up on me? My Ezra said something similar, he says, at last. But I decided against it. Why? You shuffle sideways. Away from where you've been speaking, your current position is too vulnerable. It's just going to result in slow colonization without end. Humanity will slowly envelop this planet. It will just be longer. We've seen it before on Earth. If we try and gain everything, we lose everything. And so it's better to not even try, just to wipe everyone else out, because we might not get along. I've come too far, Trigaea. After what happened with the Quorum, I know what path humanity will take. Maybe before we landed, you could have convinced me. And now, it's just too late. Shouts from the corridor, probably his reinforcements. I'm sorry, Leon, but I've got to get to that sphere. I can't let this go on. I'm sorry, too. You have no idea how sorry I am. Leon fires on the console a few feet from you. You tumble out and barrel toward him, lashing out with your gunblade. But with a beat of his wings, your slice misses his torso and brings his down on you. standing between you and the sphere. Both gun blades raised. He looks completely uninjured. I've heard this track before. I can't remember where I've heard it before. I think it was not from this game. I know I've heard it in this game, but I think I've heard this track before when I was looking for music for my game. I just remember it for some reason. It's over, Leon. He raises his hands and lets out a shuddering sigh. Do it then. I've killed so many people. Just put me out of my misery. No, you're going to stay alive to help clean up this mess. You remove the barrel from his forehead. He gives you a racked sob. Now tell the Ziri to retreat and get out of here, Leon. This whole place is going to explode. He nods, picks himself up. As you turn toward the console, a horn sounds down to the hallway. Hopefully they'll listen. You pull out the chip Ezra gave you, sucking in a deep breath. You slot it in. The console lights up. Oh good, you're alive, Ezra exclaims. I guess the grenade I made worked well. Marvelously. I see you've extended your signal range. Does that mean you can get started? I already have. I've turned off Leon's progenitor and made contact with my counterpart. Wow, she's had a rough ride, syncing data. Is that safe? You ask, glancing at the progenitor. I wouldn't want you to go all funny. I ran a diagnostic and asked her permission. It's fine. She had a similar idea with the partial terraform, but apparently Leon wouldn't listen, and oh no. Oh no, what's oh no? You know how I told you about modifying the terraforming device? There are a few problems I didn't foresee, but now I've got the computing power. They're clear as day. What are they? There's meant to be a remote detonation trigger. Nobody wants to activate a terraform device at point blank. Leon has completely ruined it. Probably to stop the machines from remotely accessing it. So we can't use it? We can, but only from the device itself. Needless to say, they'd be incinerated. Another intentional deterrent. But that's not a problem for a corrector. What's the other thing? The problem is the memory space needed for the calculations. They're far more massive than I thought. So you've got to delete some things. You said you need to do that? I did, but not this much. There's only 2 memory reserves large enough. You suck in a deep breath. What are they? Well, they're my own mind and the progenitor program. You tap your finger on your weapon. So, one of us is not going to make it out of here alive. Yes, Ezra says, her voice throaty. I read a script for the progenitor to automatically bring you back. My consciousness isn't needed for that. I actually take up a lot of space because you needed psychological support during the long flight. Now that we're here at the destination, I've served my purpose. The other solution, if you wipe out the progenitor program and I manually activate the sphere, I'll be dead. Like, I'll be dead. Really dead? Yes. Silence. The fighting outside seems to have died down for the moment. Look, it's not a hard choice to make, Ezra continues, her voice softer. I'm happy to do this, and it makes sense that it's me. This conflict isn't just going to end when we do this. It may even get worse for a while. What do you mean? I mean, someone's got to watch over this new world. It will still need a corrector. It needs you. You could do it, you know. Make yourself a body and do what I do. I could, but not as well as you. We were both built to do separate things. Oh, this is tough. I refuse to accept this. Isn't there another way? Other than walking away? No. What if we repair the device? It's going to take weeks, maybe months, to salvage and mold the parts. While you're out looking for those, the machines in Ziri will be coming after this place, even if they didn't. In time it takes for the repairs, the colonists will die. I'm sorry, Fligaria. I've run every scenario I can think of, and I just can't think of another way. Okay, I'll let the AI... I'd probably let the AI die, personally. Even though, like, I wouldn't want to. So I guess I'll do that. Alright, Ezra, delete yourself. And thank you. No, thank you. We're doing the right thing. This is going to save everyone. Her voice wavers at the end. Alright, I've got to start the calculations. When the light on the console goes green, proceed with the manual activation. Goodbye, Fligaria. And then silence. When the console lights up, you push down the release lever. Roaring flames, you are consumed by fire. You fall into the familiar darkness. You open your eyes. Green fluid surrounds you. You bang the glass. Breathing bubbles. The liquid drains out. And with a click, the door swings open. Ezra? The room has never been so quiet. Not since you first emerged from the tank. You walk over to the console. No spherical projection leaps to life. However, there's something written on the screen. Keep the world safe for me. Love, Ezra. You lean against the wall and stare at the console. I guess you really are gone. What now? More silence. To the side, a new gun blade is sticking out of the wall. After a long pause, you walk forward to pick it up. Keep the world safe for you, huh? I guess there will be people fighting out there. Someone needs to convince them to work together, right? Centuries later. The other ambassadors aren't here yet? You stare across the conference table at the Ziri ambassador. He blinks her many eyes. The telltale lines and markings of a Grove Elder. Perhaps the most powerful on the planet. No, Ryila. The others wear watches. You're half an hour early. Anyone else, I chide you for not using my proper title, but I suppose that out of the two of us, you're the elder by far. She smiles and pours a pot of new blue tea. A human technique Ziri made and sold, the machine refined. A human technique Ziri made and sold, and the machine refined. I'm glad the human delegates can drink that now, you smile. Well, it makes quite a profit, though the introduction of commerce is not something all of my species would thank you for. Isn't that the truth? The traditionalist movement gives me nothing but headaches. Well, even things like medicine, writing, aqueducts don't make up for a loss of culture, and the Ziri way is for nobody to be in charge except oneself. Yes, in theory, I don't think anyone would refuse the rules, or you, in practice. Ryila sips her tea. Clever old lady. Politics was around long before humans came along. You chat to pass the time. After a while, a silvery presence emerges from the door. You stand up and shake their hand. Corrector Fligaria. It's good to see you again. And Ambassador Ryila, of course. The pleasure's mine, Gabriel. Always on time, but I guess that's the benefits of having an internal clock. Naturally, you've barely broken the handshake before another representative is at the door. Ambassador Hassani, welcome to your first Tri-Council meeting. With all his glittering set pieces. It looks like he's trying to give Gabriel a run for his money. Yes, I've got a lot to discuss, he coughs. The colonies elected me, so I've got to check the list. He smiles, sitting down. Ambassador Ryila pipes up. I do as well. One of your new settlements is the Naeg Wastelands. That's well outside of our treaties. There are vital deposits of rare earth minerals there, and we just dispute that particular treaty that you're talking about. It's not a rare earth material at all, it's Zir. And like human or machine territory, it was taken without permission. You Ziri have been throwing that in our faces forever. This planet is far larger than Earth ever was, and we only take up a small part of it. Order, you bark. The two ambassadors fall silent. Now I've examined both of your proposals, and I think I've got a solution everyone can live with. After a deal is finally struck, you lean back in your chair and rub your temples. The other two ambassadors are now gone, but Gabriel remains. It must be difficult being made up of the best parts of 3 species. Everyone expects you to take their side, I know, but hopefully one day there won't be any sides. True peace isn't easy. Ezra knew that. That's why she left me here, to see it happen. I agree. The ship you sail in has a long journey ahead. Without you as an intermediary, I doubt it would have worked. Maybe, maybe not. All I know is that together we've all accomplished much more than what we would have apart. I know it's cheesy, but it's our differences that make us special. Not at all. I know Ezra would be proud of this world you've both created. I look forward to what tomorrow will bring. Ending 10 at New Dawn. A legacy left in leaves and lives, growing ever upward. Your final score is titled Sentinel of Trigaea. Lowest level of difficulty used, normal. Level 25. Endings obtained. Beat the game on normal or greater without NG plus bonuses. To be a corrector is to decide both what to do with my life and that of others. Beat the game on easy or greater without NG. Thank you for playing. If you liked it, leave a review, which I will. I'm gonna load my previous file where I said Ezra delete yourself, and I'm gonna tell her that I'm gonna delete myself or I'm gonna die and she can continue. I'll do it. There's no way I'm letting you sacrifice yourself, Ezra. I made up my mind, Ezra. Delete the progenitor program. The screen splash angry and then silence. Fine, I'll delete it, but I'm not happy about it. Thanks, Ezra. I know this isn't easy, but it's the right call. Goodbye, Ezra. And then now, I'm dead. Because this is just another ending I can do quickly. Session end. Congratulations, Fligaria. You passed the test. I passed what? You rub your eyes. Everything is a blur. In front of you is a black, fuzzy figure. I'm inside a pod. As your eyes clear, the black fuzz turns to something carrying a hollow pad. You passed your final corrector exam. Don't worry, all the candidates are disoriented when they come out. The test. You grab the sides of the pod, slowly pulling yourself out. Whoa, whoa, careful there. Yes, your test. Geez, Dr. Kozak said these new total immersion pods had less side effects, not more. The man slips his arm under yours and carries you to your chair. As you rub your head, he continues reading from the pad. It looks like you saved all 3 species in the colonization test. That's the kind of candidates Chairman Gray is looking for. Gained a few points for saving Leon, too. And all those memories? We showed you them visually, one by one. You consented to a drug which we used to block your memory. And then we showed your recovered memories one by one. You probably felt like you were watching them, right? Yeah, I did. You rub your head. So does that mean I'm going to be a corrector now? Yes. You'll be sent to the station, Joe, when it's time. But don't worry, it's not going to be anywhere near as stressful as the scenario we put you through. Trigaea is our worst-case scenario. There isn't even a conflict with the outer colonies. Anything else I should know? Yeah, your friends came to check on you, but the test wasn't finished. You might want to tell them the good news. You find your way to the busy school lounge. Leon and Ariel are on their feet at the moment you come in. So how did it go, Ariel? Ariel is the first to ask. You give a thumbs up. Amazing. See, I knew you could do it. I did mine a week ago. They had me keep it as a secret. How How did you do, Leon? You can't remember? Drugs still must be wearing off. Barely made it through. I may have shot you. He rubs his neck. Ouch. And here I saved your life. Look at Ariel. They give you a firm handshake. All right, let's celebrate. First round's on me. If you're allowed to drink after that. Hey, they didn't say I couldn't. It's probably something they should have mentioned, right? Yeah, we're still rocking because we were almost near the end and I wanted to finish. And this game has 12 different endings, so we already did it one ending. And this is the second ending I'm doing because the save file was so close at the end that I'm just doing a second one right at the end here. But I'm going to review this very shortly. I'm just doing the second ending that I got. There's 12 endings though, so... I was satisfied with the ending I got first. I really liked that ending. I was able to save all 3 factions, and then it goes to a couple centuries later, and there's like some kind of diplomatic conference where they all agree to some kind of peace treaty, and it's a better world, and yeah. And that ending I played as if it was really me in that position. What would I do? And I liked that ending. That was kind of the ending I would have preferred, and I got it. So that's cool. Hey, they didn't say I couldn't. It's probably something they would have mentioned, right? Several weeks later. Coming into Station Zhou now. Please do not unstrap yourself until the red light turns on. And so, yeah, that was the first ending I got. But this is the second ending I'm getting. And this ending was where I sacrificed myself instead of sacrificing the AI. And what happened was that the pod came open and it was basically like, congratulations, you've passed the test. So it turns out the whole thing was just a test, and you were training for this program, and you woke up out of the pod because it was just a test, a simulation. Earth is okay. Nothing actually got blown up. So I'm just interested to see the different branches. Coming in Station Zhou now. Please do not unstrap yourself until the red light turns off. The shuttle settles down on a vast launch pad. The 3 of you step out on the second door. Opens. Every inch of the cargo bay fills you with nostalgia. A gray-haired man with a long coat walks up, his face familiar, even as you see it for the first time. You must be the new corrector candidates and all of our new AI specialists. I'm Chairman Arden Gray of Project Orion. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you too, Chairman Gray. You shake his hand. He gives a knowing smile. The final test, right? Probably feel a sense of deja vu or repetition. Don't worry. That will wear off fairly soon. We don't put all the grunt work you'll have to do in the simulation. A month later. You walk through the AI workstations, rubbing the back of your head. yeah, it turns out it was a dog and a control panel. That's funny. You walk through... No, that would be my game, with the Canites as a species that are genetically engineered humanoid dogs. That would be them. You walk through the AI workstations, rubbing the back of your head. You make your way toward one of the ball-like program. An engineer swivels in their chair to face you. Just got your corrector implant? He grins. I'm surprised you're up and walking. I've gotten up from a lot worse. Actually, I was interested in meeting Ezra, if you don't mind. Hello, Fligaria, she answers in a melodious voice. You smile. Some very impressive voice synthesizing. Thank you. I pause. Not going to make a joke about calling you Helva and singing a duet. Oh no, that would imply I've synchronized with your digital book repository. That would be terribly impolite. You wouldn't know that was in my book depository unless you had synced it. Oh, drat, and I had our first meeting all rehearsed too. Can you climb inside the progenitor and I can do it and do a do-over? The technician visibly glances. Apologies, Corrector Fligaria. She's been impatient to meet her new partner for quite a while. No, it's okay. Because of the test, it feels like I've known her for a long time. Later that evening, you're lying awake in bed. The clock reads 1 a.m. In the corner of the room, Ariel is in sleep mode. You look at them and the clock again. After a few minutes, you get up and walk over to the mirror. Your own face is fresh and barely familiar, even now. You touch your cheek, and as you do, you picture the other faces in the mirror next to you. Shay, Echo, Lawan, Omenia, Savant. It's like a story from a book, you murmur. I guess that's exactly what it was. You sit back down on the side of the bed and run and let out a heavy sigh. It's just the side effects of the simulation. I'm going back to sleep. I think I can't sleep. I'm gonna go for a walk. You stand up, put on some clothes. Thankfully, you don't rouse Ariel. A few minutes later, you're in the corridor. Long, sleek corridors fill out in all directions. Even at this time, the corridors are filled with station workers, both organic and mechanic. Joe never sleeps. Gabriel is loud. You walk in and take a deep breath. Cold, sterile air rushes into your lungs. There are no mechanics in Gabriel's lab right now. Since the launch build, the Mammoth AI essentially became self-sufficient. Running some hard calculations, it's a little chilly, you remark. Gabriel's hologram flickers to life. They're sitting on one of the chairs. Absolutely. In fact, my processors are running just below the maximum safety limit. I am currently trying to solve the exact mechanism by which an implosion of a dying star becomes an implosion. Running diagnostics on the virtual upgrade tests and directly communicating with 8,328 units. I've also dedicated a small resource to literally study in order to increase our operational coefficiency, Gabriel adds. You sit down on the step next to them. Geez, Gabriel, with a mind like that, why do we even need correctors? Do you want the polite answer or my real hypothesis? Give me one or the other. It'll improve operational coefficiency. The polite answer is that it's wise to keep two different kinds of hardware in case of a failure. If the digital leader is compromised, an organic leader is largely air-gapped, sans the progenitor. So you're saying if something wipes you out, I'll still be there to handle problems because I'm made of flesh and blood. What's the real reason then? Yeah, we're almost done, Marka. I already did one ending, and I was very satisfied with that ending. There's 12 endings. I can't get all of them. This is the second ending. So the first ending was if I sacrificed the AI at the end to save everybody, save all three factions, I sacrificed Ezra. And I ended up surviving for another 600 years and forming the peace treaty between all three factions, and everything's all built up and futuristic and stuff. And it was basically like a progressive future. This ending was where I sacrificed myself instead of the AI, and what happened was I woke up out of the chamber and it said, congratulations, you've passed the test. You know, it was just like the whole thing was just a simulation, and you've passed the test. You passed the worst case scenario of this program of, you know, going to another world and terraforming, surviving, and blah, blah, blah. So now I'm at the station where I've woken up and everything, and I'm just talking to various groups and seeing what this ending has in store. I was happy with the first ending I got, though. I played the game just like I would if it was me. And I felt like the result was what I would expect in a good way. So, yeah. But I'm playing the other one, ending, where I saw to see what happens. I think that the other endings are on YouTube, and I'm going to check those out too, even though I'm not going to play through all the way again to see the other endings. I want to see what they all are. Humanity's need for evolutionary ascension. Correctors represent the fusion of technology and biology. Not only the long sought out step to immortality, but also the true fusion with the tools humanity has used to propel their advancement. Since time immemorial. You pause, tapping a finger against your leg. Is something wrong? I did survive the McDonald's terraforming. And the aliens are like, you know, you've taken our lands, but you've only taken a little, and we can live with you. The robots are like, you know, we can work with you guys too. So everybody's working together. With the ending that I got, the Zeri are working together with the humans and the robots, and they have misgivings about each other, but they ultimately like trade and work together. And I felt like that was like an ideal ending, honestly. Something wrong, the ending was a partial terraforming. So instead of terraforming the whole planet, we did a partial terraforming, where we only terraform part of the planet, and it's the part that the Zeri don't live in. And over time, they traded technology and stuff like that. Is something wrong? No, I think you missed one. Fear. Perhaps humanity doesn't want to give over the reins. By having a semi-organic corrector, it gives the illusion of control. If the aim is to circumvent humanity trusting their lives to machines, then it's too late. Everyone who has left the surface of the Earth has done that. On a related note, it is almost functionally impossible to operate on the surface of Earth without machines. That's why they call it an illusion. Nobody said humanity was logical. After chatting with Gabriel for a while, you yawn and stretch your arms. I could get going and leave you to your work. Imagine you've got several unsolved physics questions. Indeed. The dock. You stand and watch the machines walking back and forth. They're carrying heavy crates but chatting amongst themselves. You sit down on one of the crates and listen. Have you noticed any anomalies since special update 4.33? Yes, my ability for lateral thinking has been enhanced. This has increased my productivity by 34%. Okay, that's great. AI lab. You walk in, pull up a chair. Ezra's hollow sphere flickers to life. Oh, a late night visit. You miss me that much? Her voice lilts. I can't sleep. It must be jet lag. You rest your arm on the bench and forehead on them. Impossible. Your circadian rhythms were matched to UTC weeks ago. What you've probably got is a condition I call too much caffeine. Oh, that's a medical term? And you smirk and lift up your head. So, what are you processing at the moment? A thought experiment I'm not likely to solve, specifically the question of free will. Oh, deep. What specifically? You pull up a chair. Atoms and particles behave in probabilistic ways, but both of our minds are made out of atoms and particles. So does that mean free will exists? I can't believe you machines contemplate these things just for kicks. Well, it's actually part of an underlying template. Curiosity was part of the part and parcel of my programming, and that is a deep respect for life, so only natural that I would wonder about the mechanics of the brain. For instance, did you know that the brain makes decisions before you're even conscious of them? Yeah. No, I didn't. Can you track that with my implant? Not in real time, but it's interesting that you asked. Are you worried about your free will being interfered with? I think if I was, I wouldn't have let someone put the implants in there to begin with. Touche. Return to the subject of a wind-up toy does not have free will. It's simply cause and effect. Machines also fall into that category as having predetermined behavior, but what about the two of us? Not only is the human brain a machine of sorts, we are both hybrids. Perhaps we have similarities to these things and we differ in important ways. I get the feeling if I start thinking about that, then I'm really going to go to sleep. Oh, you're right. Of course, I'd love to talk about it when you have time. I love unsolvable questions like this. Oh, so have you already resigned yourself to not finding an answer? I think we can find a great answer. But the real answer? That's an entirely different story. After chatting a while longer, you leave Ezra to it and leave the corridor. Training room. As you walk into the changing room, Leon walks in from the training area, glistening beads running down his cheeks. He wipes his brow and sits down. Seems he's up late as well. Whew, hollow sims are all good, but nothing beats an old-fashioned workout. Old-fashioned zero-G combat, huh? You know what I meant. Though as much as I love a good sparring match, I'm honestly not sure why we learn these skills. Who would we fight against? Always be prepared. You grab a drink from the vending machine and toss it to him. He catches it with both hands. Girl Scout. He grins and opens the can. Psh, you can sit down next to him. You realize we're going to be the first generation to live forever, right? Leon says. Hopefully the tech will be distributed out to the needy. Nah, it'll probably go to the wealthy. Though not many people have a Promethean-grade consciousness, that's how we plebs were able to slip through the door. Oh yeah, it was an easy ride, Leon laughs. But it has a hollow edge. You stare at him, and he lowers his head. Leon, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just thinking about, my family. I don't think I've ever gone into the specifics with you. No, I figured if you'd want to talk, I'm always here. I didn't want to push you. I still don't think I'm quite ready. Anyway, if it hadn't been for the scholarship, he pauses. Anyway, I've always wanted to do the right thing. I've always wanted to, do the right thing. Yeah, you've always been pretty high-minded. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You're 400 kilometers above the surface. You fit right in. Leon groans and puts his face in his palm. You reach in and take his drink. I was trying to say something serious and you ruined it, as always. What I'm trying to say is you and Ash are my family. The biggest issue for me is that we're going to be separated one day. It's weighing on your mind, or it's been weighing on your mind. Yeah, it's actually jeopardized my final test, what they call a codependence factor. But because I got top marks and everything else, they want to train me out of it. I'm not sure how I feel about you being trained out of a friendship, but we knew about this going in, and we can all stay in contact. I'd like that, Leon smiles. We have to go back to playing video games by distance, just like the old days. I think Ariel would like that too. After spending a bit more time talking, you part ways and return to the corridor. Garden deck. Lush green, you walk all the rows of tiny saplings and reach out your hand. The soft leaves brush against your fingers like earth. You stop and touch some of the gritty dirt, rough murk, acridly familiar. From around the corner, a scarlet-haired woman emerges. On her shirt is a patch reading SCC Cephalus, or Cephalus. Getting nostalgic for the surface already, Fleekaria? She grins. Such a sap. Well then, I'll fit right in, you smile, putting your hand. It's strange. It feels like forever since I was surface side, but it's only been a few weeks. It's not unusual for surface siders, but it is for us, Jessica leans against the support beam. You know, they screen correctors for biophilia. It's a disqualifying trait. I did wonder about that. It makes sense given how long we're going to spend on a ship, not speaking to anyone. My mother's the complete opposite of me, even though she's an astronomist. I wanted her to come up here, but she refused. There's even people out in the colonies like that. I guess that's why terraforming is so popular. If they could, we'd turn Mars into Earth. I wouldn't. Mars is kind of interesting the way it is. I'd hate to turn it into Earth 2.0. Then again, I told Mavis that, and she said there's millions of planets like Mars, but very few like Earth. I guess you won't find many correctors who have gardening for a hobby. We're all about new horizons, not yearning for old ones. That said, I really enjoy hydroponic tomatoes. It's a good thing Ezra unit can grow food, right? You have an Ezra unit like me, not an Aryan. I'm all about the girls. Just ask Mavis. Oh, and if you steal some parsley to put on the slot that passes for food here, I won't tell anyone. Oh, that's why you're down here. Without saying another word, Jessica winks and walks off. You spot a sprig of green clutched in her hand. So I've gone to all the rooms. I'll go back to my room. You pick up one of the picture frames. A picture of you, Ariel, Leon, all wearing graduation caps. You're all smiling. Feels like years ago. You look over at the picture of you. Still feels fresh-faced. You place down the first picture and grab a second. One of you standing next to your parents as well as Aunt Celia. I haven't talked to any of them in so long. You walk over to a corner of the room and sit down, staring at the frame of your Amazon voice. Hello? Hi, Mom. Did I wake you? No, I was just making breakfast. You never ring this early. It must be the middle of the night up there. But I suppose it's always night up there. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I just wanted to hear your voice. That's all. How are you and Dad? Oh, we're plodding along. Your dad's getting some spots on the back of his hand removed. Nothing serious. He put together a new dressing table. Yeah, I saw the pictures, the ones of your birthday. Yeah, we had a few old friends for a barbecue. It was nice. I enjoy those sort of open-air Earth customs. It's a shame you couldn't come down with Ariel. I'll be there for the next one. I miss you guys. Yeah, we missed you too. Thanks, Mom. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm just going to sleep. Jeez, it's mid-morning. Maybe I should get some sleep. You close your eyes. The moment you do, you see Trigaea's fungal forests, labyrinths of rusted iron, white deserts, and singing crystals. It's just the side effects of the simulation. I'm going back to sleep. I need to get some sleep. Got a busy day tomorrow. In the space Of 3 yawns, you fall asleep, and as you do, you dream of distant worlds. One day. Yeah, I'm fine with the barbecue becoming a long-lasting Earth custom. I think I like barbecues. One day you'll be departing on a journey across the galaxy, and that's where the real work begins. Ending 11-1, Butterfly Dream. The scars of simulated trials insulate me for distant stars, and so I reach for their light. Okay, so I've the ending ending 10. I really liked ending 10. I think ending 11 is good too, but I really thought ending 10 made sense for me. I'm gonna watch the rest on YouTube, but I'm pretty much done. I mean, I finished the game. I'm pretty much done. I'm curious about the other endings. I'm gonna watch them, but I'm at the point now where I'm ready to do the review. So I will be. Let's bring it up. Let's bring up the Psychronic Score. And anybody that wants to have me review your game, like, I'm cool to do it, but I will caution that if your game is really, if it's really in a state and it's not ready to review, you probably don't want me to review it. I'll even play your game all the way through with multiple parts if I really get sucked in. And if I don't, then I'll stop it after one video or maybe 2, and I'll say, okay, I'm ready to review it now, and here's what you need to work on and all that. So, we've got Trigaea. I really enjoyed this game. Really good. The graphics. Well, the graphics were good as far as like what graphics there were. The game was very the game was very narrative driven, meaning a lot of dialogue, a lot of writing, and that's what mostly carried it through. But the backgrounds were really cool. The basic little icons for the basic gameplay stuff were cool. The graphics were such that because this game was a little bit more like a book than a movie. I guess I'd put it like that, and that's fine. It worked. It did a great job. The graphics were good, solid. I think that the graphics were I mean, like, the way it looked was good. It was solid, just good, solid, and I think I'm gonna give that, like, an 8.5, just like Fifth Era, 8.5 for what it is. Presentation. I thought the presentation was very good. I thought the presentation was very professional, and this is a free game. This doesn't cost anything. This is just free. I think it could have been commercial. I do. I think it would have been a price that was modest, but I do think it was very well put together, and the presentation was very good. And I'm gonna give. I mean, there was quite a few typos, but they were typos where there's a lot of writing, right? So you're gonna have more typos, and they were such that you could figure out what the word was, and the structure of the sentences and all that were very good. There were a few rough edges, but nothing too horrible. But I would work on those typos. If those typos were fixed, it would be a higher score than this. I'm gonna go for 8.5. Mapping. Well, the maps were just basic places, but they all made sense. They all made sense, and for what it is, they were there, and they served their purpose. and I just have to give it a solid like 8.5 as well. The music and sound effects, I thought this was very good. It's all freely available music. I've heard it. I've found it before. I've heard it before. A lot of the music comes from Purple Planet Music. It's free music. You can use it in your game too. The sound effects, RynGM from the developer was on the last stream, on the part 1, and he told me where the sound effects came from, and I hadn't heard those exact sound effects before, and I thought those were very good. And I thought the music fit the scenes very well, and all was good. And I'm just gonna have to give it an 8.5. 8.5. The plot story, this was good. This was very good. This was very good. I was impressed by this story and the characters. I thought that this was very good, and especially for this story, not actually visibly showing the characters. Yeah, it was mostly music, text, and background. So I'm trying to judge this based on for what it is. So like obviously you wouldn't talk about graphics from a AAA game and how it lines up with a text-based game with graphics in the background. So when I judge the score, it's within the scale of what it is, and not necessarily like comparing a AAA game with a huge staff to and a certain type of game with hyper-realism to a game where it's not meant to be like that, and it has its own, it does its own thing from its own angle. The plot story, though, I thought that was very good, and I'm gonna give the plot a 9.2. I was quite impressed with the plot and the story. I thought it was all very well done. The characters, I'll give it a 9. I really like the characters. I remember all of them. I remember their names. I remember who they are, what they did. I remember the plot and the story. I remember how it all started, what this planet is, how they accidentally came there. This is all through text. Not even visual cues to show these people. So the fact that I will remember this game. Years later, I'll be like, oh, that was a cool game. I remember that. I remember what happened in that game. So I'm going to give the plot a 9.2, and I'm going to give the characters a 9. The mechanics. The mechanics were good. They were basic, though. It was the most basic type of mechanics I could think of. It was just, I would describe it as RPG fundamentals. Like if you distill an RPG down to its most simple form without any of the flashy extras, and what's an RPG? And you were to like write it down on paper, like this fits the bill. But it didn't have a lot of mechanics. It had very simple mechanics. It doesn't need to be complicated. The mechanics were there. They were good. They were basic. And so I'm gonna give it like an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. The fun factor, I did have a lot of fun playing this game. I definitely was not thinking to myself like, man, this is boring. I need to get past the next part or anything like that. I was genuinely interested in reading it and understanding and wanting to find out what happens next and everything like that. And I'm going to give it an 8.8. Originality, I think that the originality on this game was I thought this game was quite original. As far as we've seen AIs before, we've seen aliens before, we've seen some of elements of this before, but the developer combined them in such a good way, in such a really nice package that you have these 3 factions. You have the machines, you have the humans, you have the aliens, the Zeri, and you have different decisions you have to make as the player. Sorry, I just saw a piece of food on the keyboard. I'm like, ugh, get rid of it. And I haven't seen a mix quite like this before in any game I've played. And so I'm going to give it a 9. I thought it was very good. Replayability? Yeah, it's very replayable because there's multiple endings. And you could have done something different. And it could have turned out different. Right, the story is the focus, and that's the part that got the best scores in my thing, in my scoring system. Okay, so now that we have, and for the overall score, I don't count marketing presence in that. I don't like to look at a game in terms of, well, did you market it good? Okay, that's part of your score. So I have it as a separate category after the overall score. But let's go ahead and calculate this and see what the overall score for this game is. 8.5 plus 8.5. And I know I can make this automatic, but there's some appeal in doing this manually like this. Plus 8.5 plus 8.5 plus 9.2 plus 9 plus 8 plus 8.8 plus 9 plus 8.5 equals, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, divided by 10. 8.65. Marketing presence? Well, let's see. If we do a simple Google search, okay, it shows up as the first page. If you tried to search by other means to find this game, I think it'd be hard. Although, the game does have, you can see it has 192 reviews on itch.io. And when I went to itch.io, it showed that it was popular. It showed that it was one of the more popular games on itch.io for an sci-fi RPG. That's how I found it. I just was like, popular, but then I saw that there wasn't actually a lot of, there was a lot of comments on this itch.io page, but there wasn't like a lot of Let's Plays or anything. There was like 1 or 2 I saw, but not very many. So I do think that the marketing, and if you go to the page, it's a very simple presentation. It describes the game. It has some nice videos. The YouTube channel doesn't have much subscribers on it. It has 8 subscribers. So, but it has lots of comments and stuff. So, like, this guy, like, whatever he made, like, he made a good game, and I think it's just a cool project that somebody made, and it's a good enough game that it can maybe get past some of the marketing. But I do think that the marketing, just like most games I'm going to review, the marketing presence was, I'm going to say a 6.5. Maybe a 5 point something. I don't know whether Fifth Era, like, I'm trying to, like, Fifth Era had more of a, it looks more like what you would see on a Steam page or something. But Trigaea was a little more simple. So, but Trigaea has more reviews and stuff of, like, more, like, people have seen it on the itch.io page and stuff. So it's hard to say. I think I'll just rate it the same. It makes sense to rate it about the same. Hidden gem, yeah, definitely. Suggested price, it was free, but I probably would have paid $5 for it. I probably would have paid $5 for it if I knew ahead of time what it was. For what it is. Date of review. 12/29/2022. Suggestions for improvement. Just fix the typos. additional comments. Keep making games, please. Keep making games, please. Good storyteller. And that's my review. That's my review of Trigaea and what I thought of it and how I would score it. I thought it was a very good game, and I was really glad I was able to play it. And I always love stumbling upon these obscure games that end up being really good, and they hit different than a game that's a really big game that's really popular that everybody plays. At least for me, anyway. But anyway, that's my review, and I wish the RynGM, the developer, all the best of luck in the future, and I hope that this game gets recognized by more people, and that he keeps making more games, because it was good. It was a good game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and take it easy. Be safe, be well, have a good one, have a great new year. I hope everybody has a great, fun time. So, anyway, take it easy, have a great night.